Hello and welcome to Dreams of Wings, and welcome here to Adams, Ilocos Norte, which is the northern part of the Philippines, and this is part of the new Clifford Designs Philippines A Tropical Adventure Pack for 2024, and this is what we're going to have, a tropical adventure. There's no other way of putting it. I'm really excited about this one, not just because of the beautiful scenery, but also because it's not often that something as beautiful and as well detailed as this Taog's Hangar Cayuse comes along. We have the civilian version, which is the 500C, and also we have the military version, which is what we're flying here, which is the OH-6A. Flying the military version, I couldn't make up my mind up between the two, but I thought for the first video I'm going to fly the military version just because the cockpit was a little bit more interesting to me. And also we're flying the high skids version because there is a high skids version, there is a low skids version, there is even a version with floats. Honestly, there's so much packed into this, there's so many little bits and pieces you can do, including changing the avionics. It's just a work of art. Now, I've not flown this yet. I literally downloaded it about maybe half an hour ago, and I've just been taking these shots, so I've not flown it. I've had a chance to have a look at the manual previously, because that was posted up before. So this is very much a first impressions flight, and my first flight. But I'm just hoping I don't mess it up, because it's just too beautiful to prang. We're going to be taking a flight in the local area. I've always said that Clifford Design scenery is great for learning to fly helicopters. Just look at that. Look at that. They've even articulated the collective on the pitch of the blades. You can see the collective lever moving in the cockpit. You can see the blades moving there. Lovely, lovely bit of detail. But yeah, we're going to take a flight in the area. Good chance for me to get to know the helicopter. And yeah, let's just get going. Let's get flying. Okay, here we go. So first of all, we're going to do a walk around. Yes, this is 2024 native, so we've got a walk around in it. So let's just do a couple of things first. I just remember how to do this. There we go. Get up close, take off the pitot cover. Aircraft tie downs, we need to remove those. And is there anything else down there? That was the rotor tie downs. Just realised I got rid of those. Right, aircraft attitude, weak or damaged dampers. No, the attitude of the aircraft is looking very splendid, very proud indeed. Canopy condition, have we got any cracks? I don't think so. That's all looking good. Happy with that. OAT thermometer sun shield. Well, not too sure about that one if I'm completely honest. I'm not going to spend a huge amount of time trying to find that, but let's just assume that that's okay. Landing light, check. Landing light's there and nothing's broken. Antennas are looking all good. We've got a couple over there, so that's great. I'm so excited, I just want to get flying. Skid tube, obvious damage. No. They are looking all good. Skid shoes, wear and tear abrasion. I guess that's this kind of thing here, but no, that's all looking good. We should do the right thing and have a look over here as well. It's a brand new helicopter, so it should be okay. That's all good. Strip fairings and cuffs, yeah, all good. Position and anti-collision lights, yes. And that's fine. I suppose really we should be turn the old battery on. It's don't really want to drain the battery too much, but why the hell not? Right, oh. Get that in the right position there. There we go. So we're going to go battery and let's have position lights. Now, one of the things about this that I forgot for a moment there and just realised there was you actually have to physically flick the switches. You can't just click the switch and it moves. You actually have to physically flick it. It'll make sense when you see it. Right, so we've got our starboard position light is all good to go, and we have our port, I beg your pardon, our port light is all good to go, and we've got our beacon down here, so that's good. Let's just jump back in because we don't want to waste our precious battery power, so let's move that back over there, and we'll move chonk chonk that down. That's very satisfying, actually, physically moving the switches. It's very hard to describe, but trust me, when you do it, you'll see what I mean. Right, passenger steps, yes, that's all good. Happy with that. I'm going to skip a few of these just so that we can get going. Right, engine oil. So what have we got up here? Have we got something there? I'll tell you what we have got. Let's remove you. We're going to open you. We can have a good old gander. Come back again. Have a good old gander in here. That looked like a... Did I imagine that? Oh, I thought there was a click spot there for a moment. Well, that's kind of cool, isn't it? Have a proper look at the engine. The military version has a slightly less powered engine than the civilian one. That's interesting. Why not? Okay. For some reason that won't let me do anything there. Okay, quick look around here. We can open that. Yeah, we can have a look in the back. Just stop crouching for a moment. There we go. You can see the back's all fitted out. I do like the detail of that. It's very atmospheric, I think is the word I'm looking for. Right, see if I can close that. Okay, back round here. I wonder what am I not clicking to be able to... Is it that? How can I close the door again? Find the click spot. I would have thought it might be that, but no. It's not that. I feel like I'm missing something really obvious here, but... just got to get it in the right place. Let's try that again. Boof. There we go. Right. This will be fuel, and we have got a click spot. Okay, but it won't seem to do anything. I'm clicking it. Let's try... Oh, no. Try to do something then. No, okay. So they don't seem to be doing anything. There's no highlight on them. So maybe that's just not going to do anything just yet. I've got these highlights set up just so I can see what will do, what will work. So that looks like it's not going to do anything. I guess I'm having come from the Aerostar where you can check the oil and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm not seeing the ability to do that with that. Just make sure I've not missed anything ridiculous. No. Come on, get to the right position again. There it is, the click spot. Okay, so we've removed the everything from there, and I think we can now fill level and cap security. Sorry, I'm convinced. I keep looking at the checklist, and it's on the checklist. So I'm wondering why. Maybe it's some funny fiddly sort of thing where... Do we have to get really close? No. What about this one? No. Okay. I'll have to have another look at that. Maybe I'm missing something, but I can't seem to open those, but never mind. Right, so let's now... I think it's time we jump to the cockpit. Right, okay, so here we are inside, and as you can see, it is a really nice interior. I love this this kind of military look. It's for me, it's a little bit more interesting than the civilian version, and the nice thing is that we do get these two different versions. Thank you very much for your input. We do get these different versions, which just adds a little bit of extra for us, doesn't it? So, and look at this. I mean, I love this little Got a little battery pack in there. Nice little bit of extra detail. Anyway, if I grab the... Here we go, grab the tablet. I'm not going to go through all these in any huge detail because this video is more about flying it and getting to know it a little bit. But you can see all the different options that we've got, and I do love this in Taog's Hangar aircraft that you can customize it in so many different ways. So we could have a door gunner, we could have a minigun attached, we could have troops if we wanted to, searchlight, Bambi bucket, wire cutters, mirrors, all these different things. We could get rid of the door if we wanted to. There we go. So that's kind of old school Vietnam style if we wanted to do that. Realistic damage simulation, we've got that on because we're big brave boys and we want to be punished for if we get it wrong, and otherwise we're good to go, and repair all damage if we had any damage. But this is a brand new helicopter, you wouldn't think it by the wear and tear, but again, I love that. Look at that detail. This cockpit is so tangible, if that's the right word, but you know what I mean. It's there. It feels really good. Okay, right. Seatbelt and shoulder harnesses are on. Cabin doors are closed. Tail rotor pedals should be where they are, which is great. Until tail rotor pedal lock pins have been removed and are stowed. Excelente. Okay, collective and pedals and cyclic, check full travel. Yeah, and that's all good. And just check the pedals are back centralized again. Right, cyclic neutral. Something I have to remember is in this helicopter, cyclic neutral is actually when it's pulled back a little bit. I can't do that because I've got a spring-loaded stick, so I'm just going to have to remember when we actually get going. I just need to pull back on the stick a little bit. It says a third travel from full aft, so I guess kind of somewhere around about there. We'll see how it feels. There's lots of things to bump into around here, so I'm going to have to be damn careful once I actually do pick up that I don't prang into anything, because that can be very embarrassing. Okay, right, collective, full down, friction on, landing light check off, that's on there, and that is off. Rotor brake handle is there, and that is stowed. Cabin heat is off. Damn, I don't even know where the cabin heat is. That's one. It's funny, you kind of read the manual and you think you know what you're doing, and then you actually then have a funny thing come along and you think, what are you talking about? I am going to be completely honest with you. I have absolutely no idea where the cabin heater is. I don't even know if the military version has it, because of course that could be just for the 500C, but no doubt people in the comments will say, you idiot, it's down wherever. They're lights. I'm not seeing cabin heater anywhere. Maybe there wasn't. Anyway, let's not hang about. Magnetic compass heading. Strangely, I did have a quick look for this before. I can't see a magnetic compass anywhere in this military version, and I've not looked at the civilian one. So it could well be that the civilian one has a nice whiskey compass somewhere that we can have a look at, but I'm not seeing one. I'm not seeing one in this helicopter. Right, VNA card select. Haven't got a clue what that's asking me to do. I'm gonna leave that. Static position of all instruments. Let's have a quick look. All the needles are down at the bottom where they should be, so that's all good. Electrical switches are all off. Altimeter I'm going to leave where it is. We're on WIMP weather, few cloud setting, so I'm going to leave that that as it is. Radio switches are all off. Yes, thank you again. Fuel shut-off valve. Oh, circuit breakers. Circuit breakers are modelled, so we have to make sure that let's just move that up. Yeah, they are all good to go. And then what was the next thing? Fuel shut-off valve is this thing here. Pushed in means it's open, so that's all good. Right, we can go for some electrical power now. I have the battery on. We're not going to use external power, although we could do if we wanted. And we don't need any lighting because it's nice and bright today. We can see our generator out, switches on, and our engine out switch is on because the engine is out. Ignition key is down. Oh, you can just see it there. Turn that on. Right, engine out warning system. So we've got the engine out flashing. Let's have the generator switch on. But we're not getting any kind of audio, but we can see that the engine out is flashing there. Right, auto ignition test. Oh, that's for the H500C only, so we can't do that. Panel light and engine out. Circuit breaker check in. So what have we got? We've got panel lights, yeah, and engine out. Engine out. Not seeing a engine out specific circuit breaker. Again, that could be something to do with the 500C, maybe. But oh, there's the fuel valve. Pull to close, and that's in. So, not quite sure what that is. But we're going to leave it there. We're not going to mess about. This is where having that funny tooltips thing on can sometimes help, but I kind of think it kills immersion, but it does mean that we are wondering what on earth that little button is there. Right, okay, place and hold test switch. So we've got all our warning lights have come on and our reignition light has come on, so we can press that to cancel that. Twist grip throttle. I've got the Virpil TCS, so I'm just going to, there we go, let's just move that back. There we are. And what else? Cyclic trim control check momentarily. So that's not simulated, so we don't need to do that. Cyclic recheck, so that's good. Collective is full down and the friction is on. It is. And we've got the twist grip throttle is where it is. And anti-collision lights, let's have those on. And rotors, everybody get the hell out of the way because we're going to start whapping these big things round. And this is where we're going to start the engine. So I'm going to try and be a little bit quiet while we do this, just so you can actually hear everything fire up. But essentially, if I just talk through it, actually, let's have a quickly jump outside and then I'll talk through it. Okay, so I thought it was worth just giving you a bit of an outside view there, because people do like outside views, and sometimes people say there should be more. So there you go. Right, so starting, we're going to use our starter ignition button, which I've got mapped onto my Virpil. It's one of the great things about having that Virpil collective, is you can have a lovely nice switch there to use as your starter switch. We are going to, so we're going to activate that, and then when our N1 here indicates between 12 and 15% and our temperature on the TOT is less than 150, we're then going to twist our throttle just to the ground idle position, and then we're going to watch our temperatures like a hawk. We can go into this yellow arc for about 10 seconds. We can go above it for just 1 second, but we need the temperature to drop down within the 10 seconds from here. And then that way we know that everything's okay and we've not got a hot start. If we have a hot start, we immediately cut the fuel. We keep motoring the starter to cool everything down very quickly so that we don't break anything. And then the other thing that we're going to have to look at is the oil pressure. The oil pressure needs to be between 50 and 130 psi, so we'll be looking at that as well. And then obviously anything else that looks a bit tricky. One has to be very, very careful. Okay, so just for myself, another quick check of what I'm going to do. So starter, we look at that, and then we engage that, and then we are good to go. So I'm just going to start the stopwatch there, and then reach down here, and then let's get going. All good. Right, the engine's running now, so that was good, not a hot start. And now we are just very nicely, slowly coming to life. Our oil pressure and everything is absolutely fine. All we have in terms of errors is the generator switch. So let me just check that. Okay, that's the next thing we're going to do actually. So engine idle speed. Everything has, yep, everything's settled down. We've got our two needles here on top of each other, which is where we want them to be. This is fine, temperature's fine. Love it. I am so blooming excited. I really am. Right, so electrical is still on battery, which is great. We can now have the generator on, and we have the inverter on, and now you can hear the that beeping is because of the low RPM. So let's have a quick look here. That's going to keep going. Oh, okay, so we've got magnetic and direct gyro. So let's go. Okay, and then we'll go back to gyro. Okay, so that's obviously that. Magnetic must use the same instrument. That must be how that works. Okay, avionics. Let's quickly put the position lights on while we're here. Avionics switch. How funny. Is there an avionics switch? I'm not sure. Could be this. We're not going to be using the radio, so not too worried about that. We'll have that on. Just playing with a few things here. Yeah, not worried about that. Okay, right. What else have we got going down here? I don't think in this aircraft there's like a master avionics. That's probably something that we would see in the civilian version. So now I'm just going to gently start adding some throttle just to get us up to where we need to be. So in this instance I need to make sure the torque needle stays between 30 and 35 psi. So gently twisting the throttle now. There we go. Okay, so everything's good there. We have good throttle. Love it. Right. Let's go outside again. You want to hear it from the outside, right? Okay, so now we need to do the run-up. So one of the other bindings that you'll want to have set up is your N2 high beep and N2 low beep for your RPM. So again, I've got that bound to the RPM switch on the Virpil Collective. So we want to go up to that green arc in there. It wants to go to 104. So let's just see if we can nudge that up. Yeah, that's all good. And the low beep range, so if I wind it back down again, should be 100% or less, and it is. So let's go back up here and check that. Yep, so that's the high range is 105, or that's the maximum that we want to go to, and that's absolutely fine. So we are not going to be doing the auto ignition test because that's on the civilian version. Low rotor warning and auto ignition check on at 98. Low rotor warning and auto ignition check, that must be on the H500 again. We go back to 104% on the RPM, which is great. Engine oil pressure is fine, greater than 90 psi, which it is. Ammeter check reading, yeah, ammeter's good, that's all fine. No warning lights on, which is a lovely thing to be in. So before takeoff, cabin doors recheck. Are you strapped in? That's your seat down there. Collective friction. Now I didn't actually have a look at that. I'm not sure if the friction is actually modelled. So anyway, we won't worry about that. Right, the more observant amongst you will have noticed that I have had to restart. I had to restart because I hadn't quite realised that the helicopter at full power was ever so slightly drifting to the right. And at one point, when I was messing about doing some shots, I suddenly realised I was about to fall off the edge there. So just something for me to bear in mind. I remember the Huey does this as well. Full power on the ground, it seems to slip to the right ever so slightly, and if you hang around too much, that's going to cause a problem. Anyway, right, so that's all good, happy with that. Let's have the pitot heat on, and we've got all our lights on, that's all good to go. Okay. See, already we're starting to slide off here, so we need to be quick. Right, time for me to concentrate. So I've pulled the stick back a little bit, so it's in that position, and let's feel out how this is going to go. Oh, I tell you what I do need to do, which would be quite good, wouldn't it? If I get my map up, and I can see where I'm actually going to be taking you. Let's move that there. Let's connect that up. That's all connected. Good to go. Right, let's try again. Okay, let's hold. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, she's okay. Full of life. I wasn't going to hang around there. I was going to try and come into a nice little hover, but yeah, I thought more important to just get going, which is what we did. We will have plenty of time to practice doing some hovering in a little bit, so I'm just feeling it out now. Wow, so nimble, so incredibly nimble. Just getting a feel for the pedals. Isn't the scenery beautiful? Just getting a feel for that. Of course, as we all know with helicopters, there is an art to doing a nice pickup put down, and having a good understanding of how the helicopter behaves is all part of that. And I was quite taken aback there by just how I was going to use the word twitchy, but twitchy is the wrong word. Just very nimble, very sprightly. Okay, so we've got a nice little spot here which I got earmarked to try and do some practice at. I think one thing I am straight away feeling is that the zoom out on this view is a little bit, for me, a little bit off-putting. So I'm going to adjust that when we get down. There's a bit of a fisheye lens going on, which is getting in the way of how I'm judging distances and that sort of thing. So I'm just going to try and pull us over here a bit. This is a little campsite. One of the other great things about this helicopter is it's so tiny. Yeah, I'm definitely getting quite a fisheye lens effect. This is actually quite tight. I was going to try and set it down there, but I don't think I'm quite ready for that yet. But we've got a nice little spot anyway. Look at that, beautiful. Okay, let's see if I can just reach over here. Wrong one. Let's see if I can just, and that's the wrong one as well. So I'm just going to reset my view and let's zoom in a little bit, not too much, just to try and get rid of some of that fisheye lens effect. Feels a little bit better. Oh, I love this helicopter. Quick look at the instruments. I'm not breaking anything, am I? No, that's so good. Got no warning lights. I think it's one of the really exciting things about getting a new quality add-on is when you dial into it and look at the scenery in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 with Clifford's scenery here. It's just beautiful. But yeah, it's just dialing into it and getting a feel for it. I have to say, I'm so glad I bought this helicopter. I was in a little bit. I went through a phase where I wasn't quite so sure. I thought, well, I've got the 500E, I've got the Llama, I've got the Huey, I've got the Alouette that I never fly. Do I need this? Do I need the Cayuse? And then I saw the manual and I thought, with everything that Taog's putting into it, why the hell wouldn't I? And I'm so glad I did, because it feels wonderful. The feel of the helicopter isn't something I can really, or you can really experience watching on a video, but it just feels like you've really got to keep on top of it. It's very nimble. It's very sprightly. I'm very aware that I could easily break the engine because that's all damaged. Sorry, that's all damage is simulated. So I'm just conscious of all these things, whilst also just feeling the helicopter out. Trying not to get... didn't mean to do that. Trying not to get too... Let's watch the tree. Steady on. Trying not to get too excited. That I forget that I'm actually, you know, what I'm actually doing. But beautiful to fly. I think it is important to take the time to dial into the helicopter to, and same with fixed wing as well, just to understand, build up the muscle memory, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So that you have a real feel for it. And these kind of first flights that I used to do a lot of these where I do a first flight video, but then after a while I kind of didn't bother with it, whereas I just thought this would be great. Not so much of a full review in a traditional sense, but more me learning to fly the helicopter and those kind of first impressions and all the excited gabbling as I start going on about how beautiful it is. Wonderful. Okay, right. Let's be careful. Keep an eye on the instruments. turn us round. Didn't want to give a bit more of an outside view, but I'm a bit nervous about flying into a hillside, so at least that gives you a little clip there. Following this river down. Now we get a chance to have a bit more of a play with just how nimble she is. Quite interesting, don't so much notice it with the 500E, but this door frame here is something you have to be a little bit careful, because it is kind of in your sight line. Keeping an eye on everything. It's very easy to get carried away when you're enjoying flying around scenery. Very easy to get carried away and break something, so I'm trying not to be too slapdash doing this. Okay, let's head up a little bit. Just a nice gentle climb. Checking the instruments, nothing untoward there. Helicopter flying in this sim is just so good. I am absolutely addicted now, due to quality add-ons like this in the H145. The Llama, the Huey. To be able to explore scenery like this in a good helicopter is just an absolute gift. It really is. And it's so immersive. I'm actually, and I keep saying it, I really do need to get my VR kit set up again, because I have a feeling that flying this in VR is going to be quite wonderful. Just coming over the top there. Wonderful scenery. Look at that. We were so focused on me messing about down low down the river, but when you come up here you get a really good appreciation for how it all looks. So what's going to be really interesting is I chose this scenery because Clifford Designs always builds in some really nice little hidden features, and what I wanted to do was have a chance to get some practice in the helicopter. Some of the landing areas are very tight, and I'm not sure I'm really at that level yet, but it's a good chance to have a go. As I said, the object of doing flights like this for me is to learn what my limitations are, find out what my weak spots are, and a really good way of doing that is just chucking yourself in the deep end. So what we're looking for now is there is a radio mast up ahead when we come over the brow of the hill here, and I am pretty sure I selected it because there's a helipad there, so it gives a chance to land. Not much in the way of wind, we're quite lucky in that respect, so I don't have to deal with any kind of wind effect. But yeah, it's a chance to give it a go. It really is amazing how you do not realise just how that door frame there, just how kind of thick it is in terms of with the visibility. Interesting. So let's see if we can find this mast. There it is. There it is. So we'll do a quick a reconnaissance of the spot. I think I can see the helipad. I am already thinking, if it's what I think it is, I haven't got a cat in hell's chance until I've really dialed into the helicopter. It's that there. Wow. Okay, well, do you know what? I'm going to give it a try. It might not be pretty, but I'm going to give it a try. It's certainly a good way to, as I said, to dial into it and understand how it behaves. So let's just come round. Where's the wind? Okay. Lost visibility with the door frame. There you are. There it is. Okay. Come on, my beauty. So first of all, we've got to get over this bush. Well, that was pretty awful. That was more of a plonk than a nice gentle land, but at least we kind of got on target. But interesting as we got lower there, it certainly needed a lot more control. Let's try and pick up now. Yeah, I definitely need to practice in some areas that haven't got so much stuff around them. That's for sure. Just to get a feel for that coming in there. It's more so I kind of feel like I've dialed into the llama. I kind of feel like I'm connected to it and I can put it where I want to put it. The Cayuse here is a very different feel for me. To that, in that as we're getting close to the landing pad there, trying to maintain a nice approach, and as we get closer and the speed's coming off a little bit more and all that kind of good stuff, it starts to feel like it's getting quite twitchy. So I'm interested to see now. We're going to try, I think what we'll do is we'll head back this way and try and approach at somewhere that's a little bit more opened up. But already I'm thinking to myself, one of the things that I'm going to be getting some practice in at is that kind of some really nice landings and some nice pickups, nice and smooth, no jerky movements. We want some professional flying going on. Got to have a look at this. I'm not going to try and land on the super yacht, but we will give them a bit of a thrill. pad. There you go. That's exactly what I'm talking about with Clifford Design scenery. There's lots of these little gems dotted around that give you the opportunity to get some practice in, and I think that's really cool. Got a nice bridge there. Now, what we are going to look for now, I can't remember what, is it a beach resort or something we're coming up to? Not sure on this one. Some huts there. You'll find that Clifford dots these lovely kind of waterfalls around in different places. But what I love is how he does rocks as well. You see the rocks on the side there. It's interesting, that was something he was doing in 2020 before Asobo really started putting these nicely modelled rocks into 2024. So he did a great job with that. Oh, I love this helicopter. I love its challenge. It would be quite disappointing if it felt just like any other helicopter. One of the beauties of flying these really good simulation helicopters is that they all have slightly different quirks. Apologies if my commentary isn't making a huge amount of sense, because I'm talking to you and also trying to fly a helicopter for the first time, so sometimes the concentration gets in the way a little bit. So let's see what we've got up here. Just going to try some low speed work. Beach. It's interesting, as with the Llama and the Huey, what Taog does really well is builds in that relationship between the collective positioning and the anti-torque pedals. You really do have to keep an eye on that, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do now, is just, as I say, just kind of feel it out, just messing around a little bit. Go. Yeah, it's interesting. It really is. As you get quite close, it's you have to how can I describe it? You really do have to keep on top of the controls. It's not a helicopter that I'm finding on this first flight anyway that's easy to ace that lovely kind of straight in nice landing. You definitely got to dial into it without a doubt. Pulled back a little bit too much on the stick there because I was trying to. There we go. Something that I'm finding interesting also is with the collective. There's okay, there it is. There's it's trying to find the sweet spot where you can hold a hover, and it's not the easiest, but kind of getting there. Okay. Let's move on. Lovely. It's such great fun. It really is. It's always good fun practicing helicopters. interested to get the GTN XI up and running in this. Maybe look at doing some cross-country stuff. Something I don't really normally do a great deal of helicopters. I'm normally just messing around, this kind of thing, looking at scenery, practicing handling and that kind of stuff. But I can imagine it'd probably be quite interesting to do some cross-country flights in this. So we've got another little challenge up ahead, thanks to Clifford Designs. We've got a car accident. This is another opportunity to try a landing. So in for a penny, in for a pound, and all that. We'll have a look. Incidentally, if you like driving cars in the sim, there's a lot of roads that Clifford added in here so that you can drive cars around as well. So let's see if we can find this accident site. It's going to be another tight one. There it is. Is that it? I think that might be it. How brave are we feeling? Yeah, so that would be the little spot there. To hell with it. You don't learn anything by not trying. So let's come round. Well, we're a little bit too high there. Not really happy with that. Just going to come away a bit actually, I think. Let's move over here. And then we can just come round. Just want everything to be nice and stable. So we can pick up where that... It's over there, isn't it? Yeah. Now I'm just going to try and adjust the zoom again a little bit. So we can get rid of that fisheye lens. I always used to fly in P3D with about zoom is set to about 71. I'm not sure what this is now. It might actually be a little bit too far the other way, but let's see. I have a feeling it might be zoomed in too much. Zoomed in a little bit too much, really. Not really seeing enough of what's going on. And there's not much I can do about it now. Apart from just nudge forward a bit. Set down on the road, and then I can do something about the zoom. a good position to be in. Let's just zoom out. There we go. That's a little bit better. So now we are on the slope. So this isn't a good position to be in at all. So let's get ready for that. So a nice positive pickup, and then we out the way. Yeah, I need to play with that zoom a little bit to get to a point where it feels a bit better. So I don't have so much of a I don't know if fisheye lens is the right word for it, but you kind of get what I mean. You've got your eye is looking at the landscape to get an idea of what the helicopter's doing, and if that view is distorted a little bit, then it can be a little bit confusing, and especially with what I'm used to flying with other helicopters. Yeah, that is a little bit odd. There's a nice little beach, isn't there? That's beautiful. Something I'm also conscious of is flying it coordinated. Just having a play now. Just moving the pedals a little bit, having a look at that turn and slip indicator, seeing what it's doing. Of course, it's one of the things with the sim that you don't feel is that kind of physical feedback that you'd get in a real helicopter. We don't have that. Don't want to get too close to that. Let's move away. So yeah, there's plenty I can see that I need to practice here. Right, we're going to scoot round this heading here. Nice little bay there. I'm actually beginning to wonder, you know, if that zoom is that way set back a bit for a reason, to make it a little bit easier to get a sight picture. I don't know. There's with this door thing here with the frame, that does take up a lot of your view. I do think there's a landing pad here. Don't think so, but we'll go in. We'll just have a hover. The great thing is, after you've flown the military version, you can try the civilian one. So again, I'm just aiming for some low speed handling now. So when you get to this point where you're hovering, there is quite a you know, movements on the collective. You really do have to be ready on the pedals. Just move around the bay a little bit. And this for me is the only way to learn how the helicopter behaves, is this kind of low speed handling and trying to do landings. Okay, we have another spot. Yeah, we've got another landing spot now. It's a log cabin. I believe we do have a pad. So why the hell not? Why on earth not? I think it's up in these hills, so we need to climb a little bit. Past the beautiful trees. Look at the rocks down there on the beach. Wonderful. Keep the climb in. This cabin. Come over here now. Hopefully you can see what I meant when I said, you know, Cliff's design scenery is so good for training. Lots of little challenging places to try and get in and out of, and they'll make normal landing pads just seem easy. But obviously the same principles apply, you just don't get off-put by the fact that there's trees right next to you. Right, let's see if we can find this. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I think we can try and come in on that cliff face. I think that's what we'll try and do, so let's come around. Some good viz on it. Try and get a nice smooth approach. Not into the trees, please. Yeah, not the smoothest again. That's something to judge. It's interesting, of course, what that is all about is understanding with the sight picture is where is the point where your skids are down. So you're having to, again, it's muscle memory, it's viewpoint, it's It's so that when you're coming in ever so gently there, you can tell by, you know, how the ground looks where the skids are. At the moment, first flight, I haven't quite got there yet, so but it's cool, it's good, that's what it's all about. Right, back away. It's funny because of the slight forward tilt of the rotors anyway, or the disc. You remember I was saying at the beginning about how you have to have the stick back a little bit to the neutral position. That's something that I'm having to get used to. Because again, muscle memory is oh, steady on. Muscle memory isn't quite there. Wafting around a little bit there. And there is our destination, Taog. Not the famous Scottish detective. That beautiful scenery. Said again, it's one of the wonderful things about flying helicopters is that you get to explore things like this. Really is a huge amount of fun. Okay, final destination. There it is. Just do a quick recce. See if it says I remember it, because I must admit I'm not entirely sure. I think I had, in my mind's eye, I had an idea of what it looked like, but I think I might have been getting confused with somewhere else. But let's have a look. Oh no, cool. This is what I was expecting. Super. Okay. anchors out. Come back round again. It's interesting how right at the last minute it always feels like it gets a little bit jittery. Right, let's get stable again. There we go. Okay, interesting. It really is interesting. So it's that relationship between the cyclic and the pedals, and when you're coming down like that, you can see the helicopter sinking. So you just pull a little bit of cyclic back up, and then of course the helicopter wants to twist a little bit, so you adjust that. And it's all these different things that are going on at the same time that are all have a relationship with each other, and you have to keep on top of it. That's for sure. Okay, right. We're down on the ground now, so we're going to just looking at the checklist here. It says shutdown, twist grip, throttle and deceleration test perform. Oh, that's for the. Okay, yeah, that's for the civilian one. Okay, we won't do that. So, twist grip throttle, snap to idle. And one, passing through 61% there. Should have been timing that. Idle we're going to hold for 2 minutes. Got that lovely beep going on. Oh, that was such good fun. Look, that poor marshal is over there saying, over here, over here. I didn't even see the marshaller. I was so focused on landing and trying to get that right that I didn't even see it. But yeah, it's interesting, and like I said before, the practice that it's involved in you know, making sure that you know, that you've got everything in the right right relationship, the pedals, the collective, all that kind of stuff. It's going to take some practicing before I can do a landing and a pickup where it feels really smooth and 100% in control. But I love that. It gives you something to work towards. I remember when I first got the Llama, it was the same thing. I was so used to the H145 that I had to dial into it, and the same with the 500E. Had to dial into that, and gonna have to dial into this beautiful helicopter as well. Okay, I've not been timing it, but I'm conscious that I don't want to waffle for too much. So we're in idle, collective is full down, yeah, trim is neutral, that's fine. We can now look at turning off pitot heat. We are meant to generator, let me just check that. Boom. Can have the generator off. That gets rid of the beep and the inverter is off. That's all good. Put the twist grip throttle now to cut off. Okay, just trying to... My physical throttle is just not playing ball a second. Hasn't gone into the cut-off position. I think I need to sync my throttle, my physical throttle, with the there we go. So that's in the cut-off now. Certainly in the physical one. Okay, but it doesn't feel like it is on the actual engine. That feels like it's still going. Feels like it's still in idle. Switch to cut off immediately. Class closing twist grip. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, that is most definitely on my physical controller. There we go. That's in the cut-off position now. There we go. I just need to calibrate that a little bit better. There we go. All good. All good. Let's have a look at the RPM. Once the RPM gets below 235, we can apply the rotor brake. That is slowing down. We've still got the lights on, because we're still spinning around things of a dangerous nature. So happy with that. Just watching the RPM come down, come down. There we go. Now we can deploy the rotor brake. And we are good to go. Okay. That has now stopped. We can put the rotor brake back. We can have all the lights off. And we can have the battery off. So there you go. Well, I hope you enjoyed that flight. It's certainly been great fun for me. Really enjoyed it. Really good, valuable learning experience as well. I kind of feel like I've picked up a list of things that I need to practice, but this is a beautiful helicopter, there's no doubt about it. So glad that I bought it. So glad. Anyway, thank you ever so much for joining the video. It's been an absolute pleasure having you along, and I look forward to seeing you on the channel again soon. Take care now. Bye bye.